What's up, everyone? It's Kanan.
It's Jessie.
And we're the Geeky Sane couple. It's been 7 days since we've put out a video. We are very sorry for that. We've decided to do a new episode of the Daily Geeky Life Podcast. I think that's what it's called. Doubt this will be an hour because we've got to open for work tomorrow. And, got to sleep. Plus, we're still both under the weather. But, first topic we want to talk about. Of course, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, click that like button, leave us a comment. We're wanting to hit 1,000 subscribers this upcoming year. 2023 is the year, hopefully. So we do have some topics that we both want to talk about. Some fun, some not so fun. Hope you all had a good Christmas if you celebrated. We had way better of a one this year than we did last year. Despite sickness and weather and all that. So,
I think it's helped that we weren't the only ones sick.
Yeah.
Everybody was.
Yeah. So, first topic we want to talk about is the reason why we have not uploaded in 7 days. Sadly, my gaming computer that we use to record everything is having issues. It was working fine one day, and then the next day I turn it on to record a new Let's Play episode of Final Fantasy XIV. And what kind of screen was it?
It was the BIOS screen, I think it was.
And no matter what we did, you could not get out of it.
It wasn't detecting the hard drive. So, but the thing is we're not sure why. Everything I looked up, no fix was working. Like, even the settings that suggested it, there was nothing under those settings for me to do anything. So, but everything I looked up, this is fixable. It's just, we personally don't know how to fix it. I mean, I might be good with electrical and electronics, but that's like cosplay related. Computers, not so much. I can install new things, but we took it to a family member who actually is very good with computers, so
we don't know how long it's going to take him to look at it. He kind of moves at his own pace, but hopefully he can fix it. Hopefully it's nothing that we have to pay a lot of money for to get fixed. Worst case scenario is we'd have to buy another computer, which would not help us right now in the financial situation that we are in, because that's going to be our next topic. But we're using my day-to-day old computer that I've had since like 2015, 2016. It's old. It's kind of sad that a $1,000 computer that I bought maybe not even 3 years ago has already given me issues when this one is barely running, but it's still running. So this is the computer we started on. If things sound or look weird, that's why. I did try to record Final Fantasy XIV off this computer, and I just kept having issues. The mic kept on flashing on and off, and it would ruin the audio. I don't know if this computer just can't handle all that stuff hooked up. Jess has said I can use her computer, and we'll see if that works for Let's Plays until my computer gets fixed.
I've also looked into alternate things, since every laptop comes with extra card spaces underneath the panel to give him more processing power to be able to run all of those things, which that's another option we're looking into because buying a little part is cheaper than buying a new computer right now. So that's definitely a temporary option until his other one gets fixed. So we're looking at all kinds of options.
Hopefully the worst case scenario we're seeing is that my computer needs a new hard drive. Which, can't you just pop those in?
Yeah, same thing with the RAM and all that. Like, there's a little slots you can put them in, or like replace the hard drive. I mean, it's a process. Like I said, we're looking at every different thing that we can possibly do to try to keep things going back to at least where they were.
Yeah, because I didn't just not want to upload. If anything, there might not be any Let's Play episodes until it gets fixed. Who knows? Depends if her computer will play nice with it, because her computer still has OBS on it. That leads me into what we were talking about as far as financials go. We got a new car. Now, no, it is not a brand new car. It is a used car, but it's way better than what we had. I talked about this in a Let's Play of Silent Hill 3, but since not many people have watched it, I'm hoping more people watch this, so they'll know what happened. We went to a con. It was a local one, but we had friends that were visiting for the con, so we were staying in the hotel with them. Jess had forgotten a piece of her costume, so we decided to drive back home. We were at a red light. We turned. The entire passenger front wheel completely snapped off.
Scariest shit ever.
Yeah, so technically, yes, we were in a car accident. Both were fine. My bell was rung a little bit.
Worst, I think, shoulder and a knee for me. But, I mean, before we knew what happened to the tire, it literally felt like someone hit us. And it just, I guess, instinct took over. So I ended up being able to get us in the safest part of the road, which I'm still not even sure how. But it was quite scary, though. Like, feeling that, like, someone hit you and then losing control of a vehicle, like, where there's nothing there to help you control. I mean, it's scary stuff.
But, we got a tow home. That wasn't very expensive, and by Monday, I think this happened on, Thursday? Friday?
It was Friday, because I had the ears.
Yeah. So, by Monday, we had gotten approved for a car. Had to go over an hour away to get it. But we now have a newer vehicle. It's like living in the lap of luxury compared to the vehicle we were driving. But with that comes, monthly car payment, monthly insurance payment. So, yeah, we can't exactly go spending a bunch of money on a new computer right now. It's possible, but I'd rather not. So hopefully he is able to fix my computer.
A new computer is kind of the last resort option at this point. Adding, like I said before, adding more processing power to his laptop, or even mine, since mine is a bit newer than his, even though it's got its own issues. My hard drive's also bigger, so adding more to mine might be easier for him to do Let's Plays. So whichever computer is going to work better until that gets fixed is probably what we're going to do, because, like I said, laptop, buying a new one is going to be a last option.
Yeah. And I don't know why my microphone and all that was giving me issues. I don't know if it's the USB hub that I'm using. I don't know if it's having issues or if this old computer just couldn't handle all of that all at once. I'm thinking it's the USB hub.
We might just need to buy another one. They're not expensive.
Yeah. Because I think that's what was causing the camera to glitch as well.
I think we should just get another nicer one.
Yeah.
That's a bit bigger, so it's got more slots, so that way I know what it is. It's the numbers. 3.0 versus 2.0 will cause issues with things like that, which I found out recently, so
So yeah, it might need to spend a little bit more extra money and just get a really good heavy.
But I mean, one. It would definitely be an upgrade and a payoff for us, because we use a lot of USB type things. So
now at that con, we did get some new stuff to hang up behind us. We just need to get frames for them.
We can show you the one thing though.
Yeah. I personally bought this to put behind us. So yeah, we got the Arcane poster. I will go ahead and spoil that the other thing is RWBY related.
That took a little more work, though.
Yeah, that one took a little bit more.
That actually came from overseas, because it's like an official thing that was hanging in a store. So it's not like something we just bought. No, this actually came from overseas.
Yeah. So we were going to try and get that up for this video, but we just don't have the time.
And we need to find a way to flatten it, because the way they packaged it really nice, it's rolled, and we don't want to put any nicks or anything in it.
So yeah, there's all that. So next thing I thought I would include, since we've not talked about something like this in a long time, and we've got a lot of newer subscribers, and that is some of our favorite RWBY memories from when we first started watching the show. Now, as I've said in the past, I started watching it around Volume 1, though it was hard for me because we had dial-up internet, so I was kind of keeping up with the show by what people were saying about it instead of actually watching it. I didn't get to watch it until it came out on on DVD. But Jess, you started watching it like right when you moved, right? Like
yeah,
you binged it.
I binged it. Before that, though, I had seen clips of it, things like that online. I didn't know what I was watching until a friend goes, "Hey, you have to watch this, and you have to tell me what character stands out to you." Well, Blake and Yang were the first ones to stand out to me when I started watching it, so I ended up binging it. I think I found a steelbook, which everyone apparently told me is a rare find. Which to this day,
it's a steelbook of Volume 1 through 3.
And I'm never getting rid of it because apparently I've looked, it's like non-existent.
I think one of my favorite memories from you watching it for the first time was I asked you what characters you liked, and one I really like Pyrrha. Oh boy. And she could tell by my reaction that something
was wrong.
And I think two of the characters that you fell in love with were Pyrrha and Penny. And yeah. That was an awkward night. Didn't you have me just spoil it so you could at least be prepared for it?
I think so, and I was still not prepared. Still very not prepared.
This is a more recent memory, but you know, as many animated shows that I've watched, there are few that have made me cry. Even though it's not something you expect, you know, Dragon Ball has made me cry. Between,
me too.
Between, Goku and his grandfather reuniting in original Dragon Ball, Goku and Goten meeting for the first time, Vegeta's sacrifice during the Buu arc, and then, Legend of Korra made me tear up a few times. RWBY, I think, has made me cry the most. Of course, during the Volume 8 Bumblebee moment, you pretty much almost teared up. But I don't think, and like Indomitable almost makes you cry.
It does. Now, are we talking just TV or episode show, like animes?
That's what I'm talking about.
I'll say, because I know another one would have been Strawberry Panic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Strawberry Panic. The ending makes me cry. Yeah, I choke up every time I watch Strawberry Panic.
I would say that's definitely another known one. I was like, make sure we mention that one.
But if you all watched our reaction to the Volume 8 soundtrack, I think for the first time on camera, I openly got choked up and started crying. Was when we reacted to Friend.
Yeah.
Friend is a great song, but it's evil because you just sit here. And, you think about Penny as a character and, everything that she ever wanted.
And it just starts hitting you.
Yeah, and,
like bricks.
And, even though she did bond with the rest of the characters, RWBY was that character. RWBY was her best friend. RWBY was the one who first called her friend. And the heartbreaking thought that RWBY still doesn't know. And what we're going to have to experience in Volume 9 when she finds out. Now, of course, Weiss does know. Jean knows. So it's going to be interesting when Volume 9 starts airing here soon, how that's going to go. I mean, there's so much about Volume 9 that we are still so unsure about. The setting, it's obviously very Candyland, Wonderland, all this, it's going to be weird. It looks like it's going to be psychedelic. Neo being such a wild card. What is she going to do? Ruby's reaction to Penny's death, this time being probably the permanent kind. Little, what's Little's role going to be? I still think it's going to be kind of like the Animal God. I really do think it's going to be like that. And of course, it's on everybody's mind. Will Blake and Yang finally seal the deal in Volume 9? And I still think it's the best point they could. Blake thought Yang was dead. She thought she had lost her forever. I don't see why Blake's reaction wouldn't be to run at Yang and kiss her. I mean, I would, if it was Jess or, whoever I had fallen in love with. I don't know. You don't get to do a reaction like that and it not lead to something. So we'll see.
And think about outside of that,
whatever they...
Ty, Raven,
yeah.
Crow, they're, we saw how they reacted, the things that they saw, we know we're going to see glimpses of them.
Yeah.
But, so how's that going to play out? So there's a lot of questions. So are we going to cry again? Are we going to, see, there's one other anime that I watched that I cried to, which was finally seeing Sailor Moon actually, the stars and actually seeing it the first time, and then seeing Crystal, seeing some of the moments that I had been dying to see, brought to us in English, for my whole life. That was another one for me that just, I bawled.
So yeah, I know this went from RWBY memories to more just about Volume 9, but Volume 9 is such a question mark. I did see, sadly, something today about how Volume 10 is still not green-lit, which is a little concerning. But I think the days of them announcing volumes way ahead of time is kind of over. I think they're not going to announce it until, maybe
until 9's out.
Yeah, until 9 is out, or until it's about to finish. But, this is the longest hiatus RWBY, I think, has ever had. We're going on 2 years. That's unheard of for RWBY. So yeah, it's kind of a scary time to be a RWBY fan. I understand why people are worried, but
we went through a pandemic.
Yeah, well, I mean
that was another huge thing.
But I mean, too. The whole things with Warner,
everything else, yeah.
Warner, I don't want to say meddling because we don't know for sure, but things like that. Apparently Warner said RWBY wasn't, or maybe Rooster Teeth as a whole wasn't as profitable as they wanted it to be, but I find that hard to believe in a lot of ways, but we'll see. So now I'm going to put the spotlight on you on this next topic, because the Dead Space remake is coming out very, very soon. I am very excited for this game. Don't know if I'll Let's Play it, but I'm really excited for it. And that's why I'm going to turn to Jess and about her hate relationship with not only survival horror, but horror in general. Can you think back to your most earliest memory on how, what turned you off horror? Was it a movie? Did somebody at Halloween in a scary costume jump scare you and it gave you an anxiety attack or a panic attack?
I mean, I do remember some things from very young, and it wasn't exactly horror related, but dark house, creepy ass trees, the shadows in the room. That was something that used to freak me out, was things like that. But I started seeing more of that, creepy kind of look when I got older in horror stuff, and it just made me nervous. It scared me. But I think another thing may have permanently sealed it in was when I was taken to one of the scariest haunted houses at 6 years old. It was actually,
I don't know if I remember you telling me the story.
I was 6, 7 years old. I can't remember exactly which, but it was, the family had tickets to go to a haunted house, and it was rated one of these, it was the scariest haunted house in the state of Ohio. at the time. Nowadays, it's not. There's plenty more, apparently. But I was taken through this, and I was just horrified. I was scared. One of the actors actually broke character to try, like, mostly broke character to try and distract me from everything else going around. And she had this little, like, it looked like a little voodoo doll-like thing in her hand, but she kept asking, do I want to hold it? It's, it's okay. Like, she saw I couldn't breathe. I was so scared. So, I mean, that's one memory. So, whoever that actress was, thank you. I mean, it helped.
But here's the thing.
But I don't know what else went from that. It's just...
Now, here's the thing, though. We have watched stuff on television, like ghost clip shows, Most Haunted, and stuff like that. Most Haunted Places, or Paranormal Caught on Tape. You've been jump scared by those shows before and laughed after it happened. Like, I'm sure you know the clip I'm talking about. The guy that caught the figure when he had gone past and it was there. Yeah, I know. It jump scared me. It jump scared him. Like, well, I wasn't paying attention, and you getting jump scared me. And I was like, what the heck are you doing? But you laughed after that happened. Like, it didn't send you into a panic attack. You didn't have nightmares or anything. So it's like, are there certain jump scares you can actually handle now that you've gotten older?
I mean, I guess, but when it still comes to, like, horror and stuff like that, as far as that goes, like, I don't know. It's because for some reason, the way
you don't like tension building up.
No, and the way my mind works, though, or something like that, okay, my mind doesn't go back and think about it. But even if it's a movie and I know it's fake, my mind will go back and replay it and freak me out. And I don't understand why. But it's just...
I really think...
There's nothing I can really do about it.
I really think there are some classic horror movies you'd be okay in.
I don't know. I've been told some comedy horror that I could stand, and it still freaked me out.
She can watch the Blair Witch Project. That doesn't scare her at all.
There has to have been something else that I can't remember in my life.
You've repressed it.
That has scared me. I mean...
Okay.
I don't know.
Sorry. Okay, let's move to video games. Okay. You watched me play Resident Evil Remake 1, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Resident Evil 3 Remake, Resident Evil 4, 5, Revelations 2, 6... You were fine. You were fine during all of it. 7 comes out, and you can't even look at it. Why? Was it the first person? Was it the fact it wasn't as action-y as the others? Or?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Just the way it was, It's nothing but an anxiety attack.
Now, Outlast 2 gave her a full-on panic attack.
Oh, yeah, that did too.
But then again, I was like making a big deal. I was like, oh no, I don't want to see that, and that's made it worse.
It makes it worse, though, when you're sitting there, and if I decide not to sit at my desk, I'll just sit on the bed with my laptop, and he'd just sit there playing, and I could hear it, and I'm just on edge. Even if I'll build myself a wall of stuff between us, so I can't see it, but I could hear it, and just put your headphones in, because I can't deal with this anymore.
The thing is, what I was reacting to wasn't even horror related. It was the baby birthing scene, and that was horrifying to me. But I'm like, oh, I don't want to see this. Are they going to show that? And that's what got you freaked out. It wasn't even a horror moment.
It didn't matter. Just to put your headphones in. Mute it. Do something else.
So yes, that is why she will probably never join me for a horror Let's Play. So yeah, so now you guys know a little bit more about the full story of why she does not like scary stuff. So 2 more topics left. This one is very exciting. I probably should have reacted to it, but I could not watch this. I'm in Love with the Villainess is getting an anime next year. You guys have to understand, I started reading the manga of this before it had an official English translation. I was reading a fan translation of it, which now both the light novel, which this is volume 1, I have 1 through 5. It's only 5 volumes. And the manga version, of course, the official one. There's 3 volumes so far. They're actually going to re-release the light novel in a way, but it's going to be from Claire's perspective. So that's going to be interesting. I think that doesn't come out until February. But I'm in love with the Villainess. It's probably one of the best stories I've read. Just between the characters, the writing, the amount of... It's everything that goes into the story. Now, the second arc in the light novels, a lot of people did not like. I don't know if the manga or the anime will go all the way into that part. But yeah. Like, I even said it to Jess, and Jess was like, no way. Because there had been rumors for a while about it getting an anime. And what I love about the anime so far from the trailer is who they got to speak for Claire sounds exactly like how I thought she would sound. How you'd
picture it.
Yes. So they nailed that. So yes, cannot wait. I love that story so much that, you know, it's just... I'm like, I don't care if we have to spend like a bunch of money. We're getting that anime on DVD or Blu-ray. Now, my next thing I'm going to talk about is my current obsession. You can ask Jess. I had never mentioned this series before, and then one day I came home and I brought home every single manga volume. And then bought the spin-off. And then bought the light novels. So now it has its own anime. Sorry. Whew. Now it has its own anime. It just wrapped up its first season. They did tease at the end of it that there probably will be a second season, and that is Reincarnated as a Sword. This is the manga. There are 9 so far in English. I have all 9.
I haven't read through them yet, but he's shown me things, and I absolutely adore it.
This is volume 1 of the light novel. There are 11 volumes of this so far. Jess just got me volume 11 for Christmas, and I've not even finished volume 1 yet. I don't usually have the time to read, so. And then this is the spin-off series. There's currently only 2 volumes. But what I like about this story... So yes, it is how do you pronounce it? Isaka, you know, the one where someone gets transported to another world from, like, the modern world. Now, this breaks the mold in that one of the main protagonists, who is the sword, doesn't come to the world and, like, has a harem and all that. Like, they didn't go that route, thankfully. There's a second main protagonist, and that is Fran, the little cat girl. She starts off as a slave, and this sword, who was like a 30-something-year-old man in the modern world, who got, of course, hit by a car, died, reincarnated as a sword, but he has the ability to, like, share his skills with his wielder, because he spent, like, months and all that just killing monsters all over the place and getting stronger. And when he meets Fran, she is a slave, and she is able to wield him, and from there, you know, she gets freed, becomes an adventurer, and thanks to how strong the sword is, which she does name Teacher, she quickly starts going up the ranks as an adventurer. I think the manga so far has covered, like, 3 arcs. It's in the middle of the 3rd arc, where, of course, the light novel is way ahead. It's at 11 volumes, where I think the manga is currently in Japan at volume 10. Volume 10 doesn't come out here until the spring, I believe. But what I love, and what Jess loves a lot about this story, is that Teacher and Fran have a father-daughter relationship. It's not romantic in any way, which a lot of people were worried, 'cause that's usually how these kind of stories go. Fran's only like 12 years old. He was a 30-something-year-old man. No. But like he very quickly becomes a father figure to her. Like
and protective.
Yes, very protective. There are some fan servicey scenes that like a lot of people probably wouldn't appreciate, where like Fran is trying on clothes and he covers her up, saying, not on my watch, and
Sword Dad does not approve.
Yes.
I think that's still one of my favorite things you showed me. Sword Dad does not approve.
And then, of course...
And someone needs to make a sticker of this, because it's just... it's so funny.
Why don't you make one?
I might.
And then, of course, there's one where she gets her second set of armor, and he's like, Fran's cute and everything. Look at her cute little belly button. Wait, what? And then he gets onto the blacksmith saying, you dirty old man, you just wanted to see her midriff. Sword Dad will never forgive you,
Or the glorified kitchen knife.
Oh, yeah.
There are so many funny moments, but like...
He does refer to her as his daughter, so...
And then I think there was one moment he actually, like, covered her up.
Yeah.
And so it's just... Absolutely love it. Like, it's just the cutest thing, and...
We do plan to watch the anime.
Yes.
For sure.
I don't know if it's safe to react to.
No, probably not.
But we're definitely going to watch it.
And it's funny, like a lot of people ask, is there romance in this? And I mean, really, as a Volume 9, no.
But it doesn't really need it.
No, it doesn't really need it. But I will say, and Jess, I think, will agree, the shipping material in this game is really... This story is really mostly between Fran and other female characters. The princess that is introduced so far, she shows like she does have some interest in Fran. So, I don't know. It probably won't. It's more of a shonen story than anything. Like, it doesn't need romance. It's mostly for comedy. But it is more of an action story.
But it's nice to have the father-daughter relationship like that. Like, that's... in there. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, it's just... But it's nice to have that. Like, it's cute. It's funny.
And, like...
He's getting the chance to pretty much be a father, I guess.
Yeah. And, like, it's funny. In the manga, I'm caught up in the story. But the light novels, like I said, I've not even finished reading Volume 1. And I've got all of them. All the way to Volume 11. I just have not had time to read it. Which I'm caught up in this one too, but so far it's only 2 volumes.
I think it's funny that you haven't had time to read, and I've read like probably 12, 13 books.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's because you've got more patience than I do. That's the reason.
Audiobooks help.
Yeah. Yeah. If this was an audiobook form, I'd probably had it already read by now. But and I mean, who knows? There might be. But So I think we're going to wrap this episode of the podcast up. We usually like to go over an hour on these, but we just don't have time tonight. Like, Jess is going to have to rush to get this at least rendering. We've also got to come up with a thumbnail. But we wanted to give you guys an update why there hadn't been an upload in almost a week. And, just go over some fun, nonsensical stuff, random stuff and all that, which you talk about in podcasts. But hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, click that like button, leave us a comment. As always, guys, we love you guys all very, very much. This is Kanan.
This is Jessie.
And we will see you in the next one.
Bye.